confirmed receiving 50 billion naira from EFCC. The Nigerian Education Loan Fund acknowledged a receipt that was during the weekend of 50 billion naira from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. In the statement by NELFUND's head of corporate educations, Oseyemi Oluwatuyi, the loan fund said it expressed its pleasure as it receives an additional 50 billion naira from the EFCC. Oluwatuyi noted that the release followed the directive of President Tinubu in his speech during the EFCC, directing the EFCC to transfer the funds to NELFUND to further boost the student loan program. The NELFUND thanked Tinubu for what it described as unwavering dedication to the education sector and its continued effort to support the most vulnerable segments of the population. And NELFUND is saddled with the responsibility of handling all loan requests, grants, disbursement, and recovery. The fund, according to the Act, is to be funded from multiple streams and, of course, will engage in other productive activities. I will start with because you are in the educational sector, so that's why I have to do that too. So, basically, I've seen a lot of students who have actually benefited from this student loan, but I just want to know what take to this.
Let me start by saying there are certain areas I agree with this administration. There are also certain areas that I disagree completely with this present administration. But you see, when it comes to education, irrespective of from the statistics and the demographics of voters for this incumbent administration, the youth demographics didn't vote, didn't really follow through. And but to have come up with NELFUND and with the percentage of students I've seen right now and schools that are complying. In fact, I can say with all facts, except for private schools at the moment, because I work with a private and we verify, except for private universities or polytechnics, once you apply or you apply as students and your school sends in their own data that they now use to verify, then they link up with JAMB to be sure that it's not some, Nigerians have a way of always wanting to manipulate the process, and they link up with JAMB and ensure that your number tallies and all of these data tallies. Then the last part again, which many do not put into cognizance, is that it has to not the disbursement has to be at the beginning of a new session. It has to be at the beginning of a new session. So some are just rounding off. So they have to wait till the next session. And most schools probably September ending October. So there are some that it has written, verified, approved on their portal. But because they've not started a new session, the money has not been disbursed. But I also have some of them that, because there's also this 20,000 stipend monthly for them, and if you look at that now, let me now say why I agree with this. Why this is part of this the things I agree with this administration. One, there is hardship. People are finding it difficult. Well, let me speak from my own point of view. Maybe not every, like Mas is a very rich man. some of us are finding it difficult to really have 3 square meals. So sometimes once you eat in the morning, you have to come back in the night and probably take bread and beans, and water all throughout the day is enough for you to keep yourself energized. And when you come back in the night, maybe you swallow some mussels, and if God provides protein, you tell God. Because things are expensive. Now, transportation, they are still trying to struggle with CNG, and the cost of transporting alone is something on its own. Okay, so, God so good, they agreed on minimum wage at 70,000. But we understand that this take-home pay cannot take the parents home. Okay, rather than make parents pay from this money, let's create another means to remove from some of the bodies that they have on ground. Okay, if you remove stipends, I doubt if I have a son in 200 by the way. thing we talk about. I have a son in Tole and in Ife. Aside that, I understand how some of them, you want to cook, they sleep off while reading and they get bored and they have all these bored topics. If you look at how much parents spend for stipend, see, in this economy, 20,000 naira is not small. If school fees is off my neck,
yeah,
and what I give out from my salary to add to whatever it does monthly is also, I feel it too relieved.
yeah.
Fine, I may not be completely relieved because of all the other things. But you see, for those of us that prioritize education, if we're talking about weaponizing poverty, then we should also commend efforts to actually to actually, because the truth is, you may know the effect of I make bold to say this thing, that despite the fact that he's doing this for you, does not mean that these children will vote for him. Because they are more intelligent. I'm just being sincere. They are more intelligent. These are people that need debates. These are the ones that want to listen. So that it's beyond, because I did so you guys must. It may work for market women, but it won't work for that demographic. But the fact that we're lifting out certain people out of poverty, irrespective of where you belong, is something that should be applauded.
Okay.
I think in the first place,
That is
I'm only reaching the law.
Oh,
I'm only reaching the law. I'm reaching the moral. I agree with you. But then, for it to work effectively, we must identify which area that we bring an obstacle. And that area is now corruption. Corruption. I'm able to also see what my nephew had been going through. Mail registration. Federal University of mail registration. It took him 3 days to get registered. And you know how you got registered? Somebody knows somebody knows somebody. And you have to. I said it on the national television. For you to pay anything, you have to pay 10% on that to somebody who facilitates it. That's fine. That's fine. So this fund now being released to the institutions, let us see a situation where every student there, accredited, registered student, benefit from it. Are we not seeing a situation where it will be few people, just like what you said about traders' money? How many persons got it? How many persons? Let it not be like for the politicians who will now have a register, like what happened during the lockdown, where they have registered and called their supporters to come and do something. It's a good, 1 naira is something to a person who doesn't have it. You give not because you have, because you know what it is not to have. So even though it is 10,000 naira to be relieved of you, it's something good. So we commend it, but my worry is that we need to see with the students whose interest is trying to be protected, we then get it. Otherwise, it's going to be a mirage. But I don't want to believe it's going to be a mirage. Let us see. The government, I think they are trying to make sure that they alleviate the problems of this country. But there are people who are benefiting from this, just like what is happening with Dangote refinery. There are people who say, no, this is a source of income. If we block it now, if we allow it to work, we'll be starving. So, in our education system, I think it's in a dire situation, and we need to stay away.
A way forward.
You need to go to these institutions. The hostel is not there, and for you to live outside the campus, you know how much it is. And let me say it's about 150,000 naira for a small room. A small room. This kid here, he called me and said there's no transport of 400 naira. It's 500, 1,000. He talk about food. A loaf of bread, small loaf of bread, he said 1,000 naira. A plate of food with 2 balls and small 2 balls of eba is 1,200. Go and verify. So if something is, to be used to alleviate, to cushion in the effect of this, it's a good development. My problem is the workability, vis-a-vis the corruption that we hinder it. Like I said, there are people who start against these things to make sure that giving a dog a bad name to do what? To hang it.
Very true. That reminds me, when you are talking about the house rent and all of that, I just remember that, wow, that's a huge, anyway, that was way back. That was a huge difference, because then when I was in school at Oka, the house rent was between 50 to, if you're living in a house that you're paying 70. I first lived in one of,
You talked about Oka. Presently, you can't get it.
of course I know.
140, 150.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. That then, when I was staying in it's like a Catholic church built a very massive, beautiful hostel. And the hostel, they'll give you meal tickets. It was like you're living a baby girl life. But I didn't like they had too much restriction. You can't come in by 9, and you want to read outside and come back late. So when I went outside, if you're paying for off that particular house or off the hostel, you'll be paying about 70 to 80. But that house is something to queue for, because it's very beautiful. There's water. In fact, a new house. But now I'm certain it's to be like 200.
Yeah, 200. I have a friend
can
who said
imagine.
is there. He said 200.
You can imagine.
200,000. And even he got it and he started flooring it, making it habitable for the
Yeah,
son.
for him. Can you imagine?
So,
Yes, I think this is one, like I said, one of the things we commend the government for, federal government for. And for me, I tag this NELFUND thing as the biggest social intervention in our history. Is the biggest. Now, this line of thought is consistent with Mr. President. I sat for WAEC in 1993. I know quite a number of my mates then that didn't sit for the exam because they couldn't pay. A lot of them dropped out. I recall that years after the present president became the governor of Lagos State, I made WAEC free for students. So dates in Lagos. I think maybe one or two other states have copied that. But it started with Lagos. And then it took my mind back then when I was in school. In 93, that I did my WAEC. And then a lot of students I could not sit for exam. Some of my friends I couldn't help. I felt their pains. I could root for them. And so when he did that in Lagos, I could identify with it, the relief and all of that. And I know that presently there are several intelligent students that can't make their way to higher institution. Why? Because they can afford to pay for school fees.
Yeah.
And you are bringing this on board to more the next to God. You understand? And then the effect of this is a long-term thing. Because you will see pool, hundreds of thousands of students, millions of students coming out from this, benefiting from this project. And then the massive impact it will have on the nation. You understand? You can trace down to. So it's a good one, it's a brilliant one. And I also appreciate the fact that they're doing a whole lot to tidy its end to ensure that it works well. To start with, it's faceless. So you don't need to pass through anybody to bribe anybody. It's faceless. You go to the internet, once you are qualified, you are qualified. And then you go to the school, because like the student was saying, you have to tidy up every end. Because an average Nigeria is highly corrupt. Highly corrupt. They will find a way to just kind of, so they have to find different means to make sure it doesn't synchronize and that the people that are qualified get through it. You understand? So the moment you're qualified, you apply, and your school is putting in for you, and all that, you go in. So you don't need to know anybody. You go in and it works for you. The good thing is, it is now established by law. So it will be very difficult for another person to come in to want to revoke this. So it is a state thing and it's beautiful. Now the other part of it that I see is the fact that they got 50 billion from EFCC. That for me is another big plus. Why? Well, this money, 50 billion they got from EFCC, was part of the money EFCC recovered
Yes.
from those.
from them,
You won me against certain language. I would have not qualified them with certain.
Chris, I don't have to myself from them.
That for me was too mild. We should have called them what they are. But I won't go there. Okay, fine. I won't go there. But what I'm trying to say is, they recovered that money. They recovered. Now they can do much more. And you see, palliative and whatever we're doing now can be funded through that process. Now I got a win. Because sometime last week or so, that the NFPC declared 3 trillion profit. And I, with some beautiful friends in the state and all of that, sometimes some things whisper out. And I got a whisper that the president might encourage NFPC to pay subsidy from their profit, part of their profit. You know? And that will take huge money on the federal government.
Yeah, it's not actually wind. Actually said.
It's actually said. Fine. Okay, fine. So if that is
Even banks are declaring.
Yeah.
Trillions of
now from NPC now, if you pay subsidy because the way things are happening, it's just skyrocketing, and government cannot afford to budget for subsidy with that. We don't have that money to do that. We will beat them. We can't do that. But if NPC is doing that, and others are Ministry of Finance and Ministry of all of that, so if they can take power to do that, to alleviate the problem, that's fine. So what I'm trying to say is, EFCC recovering money and putting it into such use is brilliant. So we need to encourage EFCC to do more, to get more. Now, sometimes there are some other people they might not have to do to public glare or to court, just underground, go to them, show them the evidence you have against it. They will drop money. Like one of the former Attorney General of the Federation that was begging, give me time to pay back in billions. I'm tempted, let me see this. If we can get 80 billion on the avenue and put it to national use, that's big.
Yeah.
A whole lot of them, these guys have stolen billions in dollars. Our money, our common patrimony. Okay? If EFCC will do a good work, go after them, the stubborn ones, take them up big time. The other one you can talk behind the scene and then they show the fact, they will comply, they will release, they will drop money.
Because they want to save their faces.
And then my former governor, Dr. Benedict, when they were recovering money from him, he screamed that, am I the only one stealing? Why we are you? I asked myself, what's your money in the first place? They recover so much from me. He said, am I the only one? Why are you all after me? You understand? But the thing is, yes, if you do more of that, recover a whole lot more. And then we channel it into funny silent things. It will help.
It really help. Actually buy into the idea. And thank you for using them because you can see.
No, it's annoying. It's annoying. No, sincerely, it's annoying.
You know, while we are even saying this, we're commending them, we're applauding them, we're doing all of this, let the children go to school, let them learn and all of that. You know, at the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, when they finish school, where is the job? How do they pay this thing back? That's the like it's going to right? If they finish schooling and they don't get a job, how do they pay back this money?
It's part of the system. See, first and foremost, 2 years after, if you have proof you've not gotten a job, nobody's going to kill you. But it only becomes a problem if there are proofs that you've gotten a job.
And you're not paying back.
Then it's criminalized. But if you don't have a job, I mean, they won't expect you to go and steal. Okay? So it's part of the what they work. And then
trust is key.
Trust is key, yeah.
Trust
But
is key.
the system is,
That's my problem with
they
this.
first give them 2 years, but even after 2 years you don't have a job, you are not committed to making payments because you don't have a job. But the moment there's a verifiable fact that you have a job and you are trying to elude the payback and all that, then it's criminal. And it should really be criminal.
Of course, definitely, because you have to pay back your money. Any rounding up statement, because at times it's already fast spent. We can't take any more topic. Any rounding up statement?
I just want to appeal to Nigerians, fellow Nigerians, that obviously things are really hard, but please, let's wisen up, let's ask the right questions. The campaign time is coming back. Local government, now that there's local government autonomy, I know your local government chairman asks the right questions. Don't wait for rice, don't wait for beans and gari, and you have to wait for another 4 years before you can get sorted from them.
Yeah, having said that, I think much as we say we are celebrating them, we are appreciating them, we are commending them, let us also remind them that it's not a way of live decently, be morally disciplined, don't be morally bankrupt, because it will not help you. Thank you.
Now, I have a very strong motivation about now. And several years ago, I had a statement that it is not the size of the dog in the fight that matters, but the size of the fight is dog. Okay. Now, what that tells me is this: if the people are ready to stay or change in this nation, the politician will see so. They can't stand the fight, right? So, what do I mean by that? Now we have 3 tiers of government: the federal government, the state government, and the local government. Thank God, the local government is coming to life. But erroneously, we have focused our energy and attention on the federal government. That's it. So we should now learn how to hold governors responsible because they don't have more resources. Then now that local government is coming
up
stream,
now.
then we challenge. In fact, they are the easiest for us.
The very easiest.
Easiest
That
for
is your locality.
We must stand them on the edge and make sure they are accountable and they deliver. So if you understand this, and then we also do what is right, because I think Nigeria is not. Let me not use the word. But Nigeria is not ready. It's not disciplined. It's not ready to do what is right. So we must also hold ourselves accountable. You see, it's there and here.
Mr. Chris, why are you on fire today?
The whole thing is annoying.
It's the way for me, the way you just like, let me not say this. It's the control for me. Thank you very much for coming.